And we're live. Good morning, everyone. Earl Cox here. Welcome to this morning Entrepreneurs Morning Vitamins. We're glad to have you here with us this morning. Thanks for taking your time, your busy schedule to join us here, to start your day off right. Today's topic actually going to be on time management, going to be done by Miss Ann Williams. But before I introduce Miss Ann, let me just go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Earl Cox. Like I said, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, military veteran. I've been in the industry for the past 12 years. I'm 2 years full-time from home. And guys, I love what I do because I have the passion to actually helping others, working towards success, working towards building their dreams. And, that's exactly what I love doing, and I have the passion for doing it. It just naturally comes from me. That's the type of person that I am. Next, we have in the panel Mr. Casper Aaron. Casper has been in the industry for 5 months. Casper is out there in Estonia. He's a dancer, and he's an event marketer. We also have in the panel just joining us Ms. Jackie Empowers. Jackie's out there in Florida. Jackie is a minister of prisons. She's a deal site expert, and she's also a wife and a mother of 3 beautiful kids. Jackie's been in the industry for 15 years, and she's also been a certified nurse for 12 years. Next, we have our special guest speaker, Ms. Ann Williams. Ann is out there in North Carolina. Ann has been in the industry for the past 9 years, Ann? Past 9 years, and she's a certified paralegal. Without further ado, before I actually bring Ann into the panel, Casper and Jackie, do you guys want to say morning to our listeners?
Hey, good morning. Nice to see you all here, and I hope I'm glad that you're here. That we're gonna hear some great value from Ann this morning. So be ready for it.
Hey guys, good morning, good people. I'm glad to be here. I can't wait to get value from Ann. Good morning, Alcox.
All right, morning, Jackie. Morning, Casper. And without further ado, guys, I'll go ahead and bring Miss Ann, introduce Miss Ann Williams to you guys, bring onto the panel. But make sure you guys taking notes. Time management is a very important topic that we're going to go over this morning, and everyone needs that. Needs to learn some insight on time management, how to manage your time, all right? Because we all know that we get caught up in the time as we go on through the day. So this is a great topic that Miss Ann is going to share with us, and I hope you guys take notes and pay attention, guys. So without further ado, Miss Ann, the panel is all yours.
Oh, wow. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Earl, for the great introduction. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Casper, and everyone else that is joining us. Thank you for taking the time out each day to be on these calls. We try to bring, we do bring a lot of value, and so I hope you guys are getting as much out of everything as we are. Today is something that's dear to my heart, and I work on constantly, and it's time. So I thought I would talk about time management. Jim Rohn often says that, or has often said that rich people and poor people both share a common resource. We all do. We all have 24 hours in a day. That's it. That's 168 hours in a week. Do you ever look at people and wonder, you've got 2 people that both have the same job. One moves really well and gets everything done during their day, while the other one seems to always be rushed, always just to get the basics done. The first one, they're still able to fit, workouts, attend their kids' schools activities, sports activities. They can even keep their yard looking nice and their checkbooks balanced, while the other one just always seems to be running behind. And that has to do with time management. I know I was being a little bit silly there, but at some point, some people seem to have it all together and how they manage their responsibilities in their lives while others don't. So I truly believe it all comes down to time management, and we have to develop a philosophy of time management. I want to share something with you that I found really interesting. An ability to gain 1 to 3 hours a day in productive time translates into 7 to 21 hours a week, 30 to 90 hours a month, 360 to 1,180 hours a year. That's 9 to 27 40-hour work weeks in productivity that can be gained by implementing just a few changes or a few things to effectively manage your time. That's a lot when you think about it and break it down like that. So I want to cover 4 things that I believe will help you in time management. You have to develop a philosophy of time management. You have to. What does that entail? It entails establishing your priorities and your values. As important as the hows are the whys. The whys, as Casper has talked about many times, are first and foremost. I'll delve into just a little bit of each of these 4 things as we go. The second is creating a proactive schedule. You have to allocate your time based on your priorities and values. Once you know why you're managing your time and know the priorities and values that you strive for, then you have to understand where you're currently spending your time and how to budget your time. I'll give you some tips on that. The third area is breaking through barriers. I think this is where a lot of us get caught up. I know I do. And I'm constantly working on this. Eliminating time wasters and overcoming procrastination. You know, I think a lot of us, we all know what to do, but it's the things that we shouldn't spend time on that actually get us off track. So I'll touch a little bit on that, and then I want to give you a little bit of ways how you can gain more time, you know, in a day, which, like I was said in the beginning, will allocate to more time in your week, a month, a year, to where you can actually be more productive. And that's what I'm working on, to be honest with you. And I just want to give you one little sentence that I found in doing some research on time, and it says, your short-term actions multiplied by time equals your long-term accomplishments. So it's, you know, your actions, how you time those actions, what you're doing daily, that will equal to your long-term accomplishments. So let's break it down a little bit further. Developing the philosophy of time management. That's establishing your priorities and your values. So let's just touch a little bit on those things. So what are priorities? Well, if you think about the word priorities, what's the root of that word? Prior. Priorities are the things that are of utmost importance. They're the things that must be done first because of their inherent value. They come prior to or before or put first. So when you look at time management, you can basically think of it as priority management. It is the act of determining what is important and then living out your life or work in a manner that will help you fulfill those priorities. Next, what are your values? You know, everybody has different values. We probably, most of us have the same inherent values. We value family, you know, friends, value our business relationships. But again, values they vary obviously to each individual. They are important things. You have to decide what is major and what is minor and put them on an importance scale. You have to learn to separate the majors from the minors. But I don't think a lot of us, I know I don't a lot of times do that well. I put the minor things before the major things, thinking they're major when they're actually not. And I fall into that trap a lot. So I'm constantly working on that. So how do you live out your priorities? How do you make sure that you live them out? Know what they are, make a list, and classify them into areas. You know, you've got your work priorities, your family priorities, your health priorities for a lot of people, hobbies, etc., things like that. Then under each category, I would list them and put them in an order of importance. I have in my date book, at the top of my date book, I have like 6 spaces. And I learned a long time ago to make a 6 most important things to do list every day. And I have it, one for my business, one for personal, family, things like that. You know, maybe it's have to get to the bank to do something that's really important that day. But I list them in the order that I need to do them. Most of the time, not all the time, do I knock those out, but those should need to be the things that you do first. So you got to list them. Okay, the second topic, or the second, I guess, topic under time management, creating a proactive schedule, allocating your time based on priorities and values, which we just talked about. Okay. breaking through the barriers. Oh my gosh, this is the big one for me. Breaking through barriers, eliminating time wasters and procrastination. Working from home is there's no other job like it. You know, I worked as a paralegal for many years, and I was in corporate America. And working from home, I love the freedom that you have, but I've also had to really, really learn how to not get sidetracked. It's very easy to get sidetracked, especially, you know, with children. So I have to set aside time for her. Well, she had been sick. Last week we were in the hospital, and the week before, so that definitely took priority over anything else that I had to do. But during the day, sometimes I'll find myself, I'll think, well, I'll stop and throw this load of laundry in while I'm in the middle of doing something else. I should not do that, and I'm really focusing on, if I've got 3 hours set aside to do business, then I need to do that and stay focused. Like Casper talked about yesterday, stay focused, and Jackie, on getting those 3 hours worth of what I have set aside to work on business in. My day is very busy with my husband's business too, so I have to allocate my time, and I list each night before I go to bed, because I know my subconscious will process that. Make your list at night, guys. Think about what you got to do the next day, because your subconscious will process that, and you'll get up knowing, you're not going, oh God, what do I have to do? Even though you've written it down, you get up thinking about it. So I will list, okay, for Law Roofing, I need to do this. For my business, I need to follow up with the 3 people I spoke with yesterday. Whatever it is, I list those at night. So how do you break through these barriers, eliminating time wasters and overcoming objections? It comes down, I think, to 2 processes. You want to take a look at where your time is being spent, an inventory. I learned this. I did learn this as a paralegal. My time was billed as a paralegal. And my very first paralegal job was not in a big law firm. It was a sole proprietor. I had to hand write. He did not have the software yet. It's back in the 90s. I had to hand write my time. If I talked to a client, you know, 0.0 to 6 minutes was 0.1, 7 to 12 was 0.2. I remember this, and I had to write down everything that I did because it was billable to the client. So I had to keep really good track of time. And that taught me a lot. Oh my gosh, I would look and see. Sometimes I would think, why didn't I get that done? And I'd look back at my timesheets and I'd think, that's why, you know, maybe I took time filing when I shouldn't have. That was low priority, didn't need to be done. So that's what I call taking an inventory of your time. You have to look at it virtually minute by minute, which is what I had to do as a paralegal. I took a notepad. You can take a small journal. Now everything's on the phones or on your computers, but we're not always, we always do have our phones. I started to say we're not always in front of our computers. But do this for a week and look at where your time's being spent. Track every bit of it. If you spend, you know, 13 minutes on the phone talking with a prospect, write that down. If you sleep for 8 hours, put 8 hours sleep. Break down that 168 hours in a week. Put that at the top of your journal and break that down and see where your time is being spent. It's a great way to actually look at what you're doing each day. The second thing would be to move into time budgeting. You know, just as you look at how much you have to spend a month in eating out, you know, you may budget yourself for $250 a month in eating out, but you only want to spend $100. You have to set a time budget for yourself, okay? I don't know if you know, if most of you work another job, if working from home is your full-time job, or if whatever your business is, if you're just doing it just to make some extra money. But let's assume for just a moment that you do work a typical Monday through Friday. Say on a Sunday evening, sit down and spend maybe a half hour going through your schedule for the upcoming week. I do this every night like I was talking about, but you can start with on Sunday. Most of us know, okay, you know, I know each week I've got my food pantry at my church on Wednesday mornings. That is a priority for me. We feed our community, and that's a priority for me. I know on my personal side, and I keep talking about this, I have my my daughter's Girl Scout meeting on Monday night. Yes, that is a priority for me. So each week, each Sunday, I sit down and I put down on my date book what I have going on. I know if somebody said, I will be back in town. I have a girl that I've been talking to, and she said, I'm on spring break. I will be back Monday. I have her calendar to speak with her on Monday. So, you know, you can budget your time. Maybe you want to assign an hour a day to just answering phone calls or emails or following up with people. You know, because our days are interrupted all the time. We know that life's going to happen. And so maybe you could budget that time. That's what I was saying earlier about taking those. If I've got my time allotted on, say, a Wednesday is my busiest day, and maybe I allot my 3 hours in the evening to sit down and work on my business, because I'm usually gone until the evening on Wednesdays a lot of time. I'll budget that time. I need to sit down and do that and not let anything, you know, distract me. So as you sit down and budget your time, maybe if you work a full-time job one day, you might say, okay, I'm going to budget 30 minutes for lunch. I need to make some follow-up calls or send some follow-up texts. You know, if you budget your time as you apply all of this to your activities throughout the week, you're going to see how this is going to help you. You know, it's to set time budgets according to your priorities. When you put actual time frames into your calendar, you're setting your priorities before you carry out your activities. It takes discipline, guys, to do this. It's not easy, but when you start doing it, it becomes a habit. You know, 21 days of doing something, it becomes a habit. So the fourth area is how do you actually, let me backtrack. Let me talk a little bit about, you know, we were talking about time wasters and breaking through the barriers, and I wanted to touch on procrastination, because that is a big one. Procrastination. You know, it's very easy to say, oh, I'll do that later. My husband, bless his heart, but he is a procrastinator. We've had a tree that fell in our yard about 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, we need to get somebody out here, you know, to take this tree down. He says, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. But he's putting it off, and I don't know if he's putting it off because he's afraid of the cost to have it removed. I don't know, but I'm getting ready to call somebody. So you have to look at procrastination. You know, what drives procrastination? Why do people procrastinate? Fear. They're afraid of failure, or they're afraid of success. They're afraid of what others think. You know how fear works. Hard work. Some people procrastinate because they know that doing the work's going to be hard. So they just put it off and put it off because they don't want to do it. They think it's going to be mentally, emotionally, physically exhausting. But you have to invest in hard work. You know, nothing's gained by not doing anything. You will far outreap the benefits of your hard work than the pain of the labor of doing it. So, lack of passion. You know, maybe it's something they're not really passionate about. This has happened to me in a previous company. I just was not passionate about it. I tried, but I thought, this is not me. So I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. I was not passionate. I did a little bit, but it was not my passion. And then the fourth reason I think people procrastinate is the inability to motivate themselves. That's why I love this call. One reason I love this call. That's why, you know, we've talked about reading personal development things, motivating yourself. Some people are great self-motivators. Some, it takes a lot to get them motivated. You know, I've heard some people say, I wish you'd come by and turn me on to get me motivated. So you've got to be self-motivated. No one else can motivate you. You have to do it yourself. So now, how do we gain more time? How do you gain an extra 1 to 2 hours a day, 1 to 3 hours a day, which turns into that 7 to 21 hours a week, that 30 to 90 hours a month, and so on? How do you do that? I'm going to tell you a couple of things that you can do to help you gain more time. Delegate. How many of you are control freaks? Are any of you control freaks out there to where it's hard to let go of things? This took me a lot of work. I mean, I run my household. I help my husband with his business, but this took me a lot to turn over household things, to turn over maybe financial things. My husband and I work together a lot on that, but my husband he's old school, so any computer knowledge I need to learn. I cannot delegate that to him, but you have to learn to delegate. Being a control freak is not good when it comes to managing time. You know, you have to have people to help you. I know in corporate America, I had to delegate things, you know, to the secretaries. Could you open files for me? Could you do this for me? You just have to learn to delegate. You know, it allows you and frees you up when you delegate to work in the areas that you're strongest in. It helps you finish things more quickly, with more quality, and in a much better mood than if you're spending time working on things that you're not good at. Spending time on your weaknesses creates discouragement, and in turn will cause you to be less efficient. So delegate it. Delegate it, delegate it. The second area is skill improvement. This is something I'm working on too. Every day, I'm taking time. I've got so much time allotted out to watch videos to improve my skills and learning how to work online more efficiently. You know, every time you improve your skills, skills can be learned. Skills can be learned. So every time you improve your skills in something, you're saving time when you learn to do things. But then again, you got to be self-motivated, take the time to learn the skills. You know, if you can do things better, you're going to learn them to do more quickly, and you'll be able to do more in the same period of time. So either way, it's a win-win situation. Take the time every day to develop your skills further. I need, like I said, I need to learn more about doing videos. I know it's pretty, you click a button and you're on a camera. I know that, but I'm working on getting, I guess, a little bit of my confidence up a little bit more to learn those, and then how to do certain things within those videos. I'm working each day to learn that. The third area in gaining more time is single tasking and multitasking. I want to be a little bit clear on this. There is a time to single task and a time to multitask. A lot of us say, oh, I can do that, I can multitask. And I feel like I am a good multitasker. But then again, I look back and I think, did I really spend the time I needed to on this, which was more important than this, when I divided my time between the two? So you have to kind of take a look at that. There's certain tasks that can be done while you do something else, and others that you need to devote your full attention to solely what you are doing. Here's some thoughts for you. Good times to multitask. When you can do one thing passively and one thing with focus. Case in hand, many people on the East Coast ride the train into cities to get to work. During their travel time, passive time, they can work on reports, get their reading caught up, maybe respond to telephone calls and things like that. You know, with technology ever increasing, and cell phones can probably now pretty soon be able to cook for you. You know, many people can do their work while they're taking that train. I will take, if I need to follow up with people, I'm in a carpool line every day. I leave my house at 2 o'clock. I'm in the carpool line. I don't get home till 3. I sit in that carpool line for a good 30, 35 minutes. It is a great time for me to follow up with people. A great time. If I have phone calls to make, messages to return, it's a great time. So I use that time to do that. Good times to single task or any time you need to focus. You don't need any distractions, or either you're going to be ruthless about any distractions that you get. You'll get work done sooner. You'll find that the work is better because why? You're focused. Anything that requires detail is a good time to single task. You know how, you know the saying, we've all said it, haste makes waste. So not focusing will end up costing you more time, thus being inefficient. So you got to determine those tasks that require single focus and do them. And then last, improved focus. It's just a matter of discipline, ability to, and willingness to let everything else fall away while you set your mind solely on the matter at hand. It's an incredible way to gain more time. We talk and talk about focus, and when you stay focused, you will gain more time. You learn how to set aside distractions and put all of your energy and work into accomplishing that goal. Working smarter rather than harder, we say it all the time. You should make it your goal to work fewer hours by working more efficiently. You can establish your work in that way by just what we've talked about previously, or setting out your priorities, things like that, and then classifying them. And then you want to apply all your time management skills. You know, think about the people that do time management seminars. They generate millions of dollars a year. It's just been built on this one tool. But most people are pretty inefficient at their time. Why? Because of one simple problem. They don't apply the truth. You have to apply what you learn. That's true with anything. So these are just some ways to, you know, help you gain more hours in a day, ways to become more efficient. You know, you can manage and use your time to become everything that you desire to be and have everything that you desire to have. So that's pretty much what I had to cover, Earl. And you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I gave you some good tips on how to manage your time. And I thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak here. I just want to add one more thing. You guys learn to say no. That's a big one. Learn to say no. You know, if someone calls you up and asks you to do something for them, you know, usually because maybe they haven't managed their time very well. A lot of times, what do? You feel bad to say no, and you say, yeah, I guess so. And then afterwards, you're going, why did I do that? I didn't even have the time to do what I'm doing now. Why did I say yes? That's like taking on things. You know, I took on our food pantry, and the church has asked me to take on some other things that I have had to turn down. I'm helping them with another project, but I did have to say no to some things, and they understood. I work from home. I have my daughter, and they understood that, and most people will. So just learn to say no. You know, the only thing we can manage is ourselves, and by doing that and what we do daily, we will manage our time. So thank you.
Welcome, and that was a great. You got some great points from you, and there's some key points that you touched on. I just want to reiterate on some of them. Like you said, make a list, right? You have to make a list of what you need to do. A broad list. You know, if you just jot down everything that you need to accomplish, then as you say, and schedule, make a schedule. So from that list that you created, that's where you actually build your schedule from. So you put it in order of how you want to get it accomplished. And that's very important. So you have to make your list, and you have to do a schedule, you know, a time schedule of when you want to get stuff accomplished. If you have doctor's appointments, all that stuff has to be in your schedule. So, you know, you're scheduling your time. And that's some great points that you just mentioned. And you talk about breaking the barriers. You know, a lot of people like the procrastination, what you actually broke it down. People procrastinate on doing stuff. You know, we see it all the time. And the reason why they procrastinate because they don't have the passion of doing it. You know, that's the problem. That's the issue also. If you don't have the passion of getting something accomplished, of doing something, it's not going to happen. So you have to have the passion in getting your stuff done. When you make a list and you make your schedule, you have to have the passion to follow your schedule. That's just something that you have to do. And if you don't do it, you're going to always fail. You're going to always be falling behind. You know, so that's some key point that I want you to touch, and I really thanks for you for sharing that. That's what I grasped from it. I actually mark it down, guys, and I actually putting this stuff to use. You know, I learn something every morning. I come to this call, guys. We learn from each other. You know, so you're not like I know everything, Ann knows everything, Jackie or Casper knows everything. We all just like you. We all normal people just like you. We are here to share and learn from each other. That's how we actually grow. That's how we move forward. You know, guys. So thank you, Ann. I really appreciate it. I don't know if Jackie and Casper have anything else to add. Great topic though.
Thank you.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, and I really loved your talk because time management this is so big, and I have learned about it before, and I have tried many things to better myself with my time management, because I've had a crazy schedule for the past 3 or 4 years in my life, but yeah, the great thing is that the more you do, the more you'll accomplish, and the more you actually get done. And I really love the points that you brought out, like your short-term actions multiplied by time will make your long-time accomplishments. And this is so true, that What we do today will make us tomorrow. So it's really important to be aware what are we doing and how are we spending or investing our time, because there's two things to do with time. You can spend it or you can invest it.
That's correct.
And that was really great, and also I loved that you brought out the priorities in the priority section, that you need to make it clear for yourself which actions are major and which actions are minor, because there's a great book about it. It's called the 80-20 principle, and it says that 20% of our actions produce 80% of our results. So it's really important to weed out the majors and the minors. So I'm really thankful, Anne, that you brought it up and you really reminded me all that I have learned about time management, and you really nailed it.
Thank you, Casper.
Hey, Anne. What a great topic. What a great topic. And I just love you so much. You just have a way of making things sound better. You just wrote there, you run your day or it runs you. You did touch on a lot of things that are really dear to my lifestyle. You talked about priorities, about having balance in your life as an entrepreneur. You want to make sure that there is balance. You have your family. You really want to set time apart just for business, not like the business is running you 24/7. So many other things you touch on. What I know, what I've known for years is that I don't do anything that somebody else can do better. And that's why you said delegate, delegate, delegate. And what I do is I've learned the hard way, because I can be very controlling, but I learned the hard way that it wears you out over time. So I learned from one of the seminars I attended back, I think 2 years ago, that don't do anything that somebody else can do better. For example, as an entrepreneur, you're more of you have a creative mind, so you are more innovative. You are an idea maker, in other words. So people who use their brain and their mind to do things really should not be doing physical stuff. So what I do most of the time is, in terms of when it comes to physical work, because I use my mind a lot and I use my brain a lot, what I do is I look for people to clean my home on a weekly basis every Saturday. So if I have to spend time to clean my room and clean my home and scrub my bathroom and still be the kind of entrepreneur that I want to be, it's gonna be very tough. So don't do anything that somebody else can do better. Don't go out on a Saturday, you see me washing my car or cleaning my car. I mean, I can't do that as a form of exercise, but hey, I can get on a treadmill or I can go for 30 minutes walk. I should take that car to a car washing place to get it clean. So those some of the things, some examples that we all know, that you don't just want to be all over the place. You don't want to be like you said, just controlling. You want to get everything done. You will really not be the kind of leader that you want to be, because your attention is needed in areas where, as a leader, where it needs more of creative thinking. It needs more of reflection. You use a lot of energy. Not physical energy, but energy upstairs from the brain, and it's more sapping than physical energy. A lot of people don't know that. When you use your brain a lot, it saps out everything from you. So thank you so much. Thank you. I love it. Time management. I love it.
Great. That's a great topic, guys, and it's a broad topic. And actually just hit the tip of the iceberg with this topic, the time management. Guys, so everyone manage time differently. And remember, what we're giving, we're just sharing information to help us, get better at what we do, get better at managing our time. And there's different ways. There's a lot of trainings out there, guys, but as we said, we give you guys the basic. Everyone has to go out there and educate themselves still. Like I said, everyone's going to do it different. But these are some key points that Anne shared with us here this morning to actually help you get started. put you in the right directions. There's a lot of stuff you can add to it, but like you said, and just share the basic just to actually get you in the right path, so you can start managing your time from today. Right, Ann?
That's correct. It is a huge topic. We can talk about this probably for a week. So, yeah, it is, and it's something I constantly work on because I do have a busy life, and it's just writing it down, that list, and prioritizing it keeps me on the path where I need to be. Do I get off? Yeah, sometimes. You just got to get back on. It's a constant. You work on it constantly.
That's definitely awesome. But that was some great information you shared with us, and guys, great topic. If anyone else has anything to add before we close the call, Jackie, Casper, good.
Sorry to go over.
Okay. If anyone have any questions, go ahead and type it in the chat box. If not, guys, I really appreciate you guys taking the time off to come into this morning Entrepreneurs Morning Vitamins. Thank you guys on the panel for joining us also every morning. I don't want to make the same mistake. I know yesterday I said today was Friday, guys, but today is Thursday. But tomorrow we actually our FAQ, or question and answering session tomorrow, where we actually go over all the topics that we covered for the week. And if you guys have any questions or have anything that you want to add, you feel free to type it in the chat box or come with your questions or come with your suggestions. And let them share it with us so we all learn. And if you guys want to get on the panel and share a topic with us also, just get in contact with myself, Jackie, Ann, or Casper, and let us know that you want to actually get on the panel with us and share something, to help others, start the day off right and working towards success. So once again, thank everyone for coming into this call. Thank you guys for getting on the panel here on this webinar. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow on our next Entrepreneurs Morning Vitamins, 09:30 to 10 a.m. Have a blessed day, guys.